Green's YouTube Cptmachine here, back for another short. I noticed that people are talking about the origin of their screen names, and I think I did briefly go over it long in the past. I thought it was a good idea to retell the story, and it is a long story. It's not a simple one where I just thought, oh, I thought this would be cool. Although it does kind of tie into that. Back in the day when I was first getting into PC gaming, I was like 16 or so, and I used to buy a magazine called PC Format, which is kind of redundant now because Dead Tree Media, when it comes to magazines, is very much redundant, especially for video games, because anything you want to know about upcoming video games you can get on the web for free and faster than getting it off of a magazine. So only the demo discs are really keeping those things in business, really, if you ask me. But there was an article in there which talked about a guy who played a lot of Hexen 2, and I loved Hexen 2 back in the day. Hexen 2 was a great 3D game. My memories of it probably are a bit nostalgia because I can't get the modern version of it to run on my PC anymore. I recently bought it off Steam and it just will not run. I might try and fix that, but I don't know if I can. But because I love the fact that it was one of the first ever 3D shooters, or first-person shooters, whatever you want to call them, which emphasised melee combat, especially if you're playing the fighter, which had, I think, 2 or 3 melee weapons out of his possible 4 weapons he had. So yeah, that was kind of interesting. I really did enjoy that, and I love the fantasy feel to it, and it's kind of why going down the line I'm eventually becoming addicted to Skyrim, because the same mechanics but massively inflated. So there was an article in there talking about this fella who worked at the magazine who loved competitive gaming, and he showed you a couple of screenshots of his game, and he mentioned the fact that his character name on the game was Lord Cheese. And I thought that was hilarious because up until that point I hadn't thought of the concept of putting an alternative name in. When we used to play Hexen 2 and other games like that, we used to put just a regular name, so I was just Neil. It never occurred to us to use pseudonyms like everyone does nowadays. It was a new concept to us. So I wanted to use Lord Cheese as well, but I thought, no, Lord Cheese is taken. So I started looking around the room I was in, and I thought, Lord, and I saw a washing machine, and I thought, Lord Washing Machine, that's just utterly stupid and pointless. I'm going to have that as my screen name. So I went back into Hexen 2 with my mates and tried putting the name in, and it was too long. So I had to shorten it to Lord Machine, which I thought was alright. And I was romping around with my fighter, because the fighter was my favourite class out of all the classes in Hexen 2. Probably because of the melee aspect, actually. I mean, once I got on your grill, there's not much you can do about it, which was hilarious. But that wore out after a while, because basically the same thing that happened to everybody else at that time when it comes to PC gaming, Half-Life came out. And Half-Life was a big deal, especially when it came to multiplayer. The multiplayer for Half-Life was astounding, and we jumped on that bandwagon with gusto. And Lord Machine wasn't appropriate anymore, because Lord Machine to me was a fantasy name for a fantasy setting, and I needed something more sci-fi. And one of the skins in the game is a soldier, so I thought, oh, I'll pick him, just like that, and I'll call him Cptmachine. And that's where the name came from. So Half-Life really is the reason why I have Cptmachine as my pseudonym, and I've been using it ever since. The spelling, which you see above, Cptmachine, is due to the fact that I couldn't fit Cptmachine on the screen on some of those games. I can't remember which one it was, the first one I encountered that had that problem. It may have been Half-Life, I can't remember. But I couldn't fit the entirety of Cptmachine in there, or he didn't have spaces or something like that, so I wanted to shorten it, and Cptmachine comes from that. And I have been using that ever since, so if you go, and I used to put an underscore to it, now I don't. But if you go around and you find someone on the internet called Cptmachine, the odds are it's me. And I'm utterly proud of that fact, and I don't know how true it is now, because I know that sometimes you get fanboys and they take the name and they put it on a server. I know Total Biscuit had this problem when he was trying to play World of Warcraft on a couple of servers where he created a character, typed in the name Total Biscuit, and it had already been taken because some fanboy already took it. and was running around as Total Biscuit. So I don't know how true it is these days that if I went onto a multiplayer game or an online game and I typed in Cptmachine, if I was going to get it anymore. So I tend to find that, well, I haven't been playing MMOs recently. I think I might get back into DC Universe Online now it's gone free to play. I might generate a Cptmachine for that. But beyond that, that's basically the story. So, and that's where I am today with that. That's my screen name. That's where it came from. It's not as entertaining as Gentleman Gamers, but then again, no one's entertaining as Gentleman Gamers sometimes. And that's basically where it came from. It came from my early love affair with the PC and the multiplayer aspect of it. So thank you for your time, guys, and I'll see you in the future. Bye.